Paratroopers. What a nice and fun class to use. I'm sure everybody will get to experience what it feels like to be a paratrooper. As you can tell from the beginning of the video, this video is about paratroopers. Now, I'm making this video because there are people who missed out on the paratrooper events, and I want to bring a little bit of justice to them. Now, let me just get this straight. There's every event out there, right? Is bound to have people who miss out. For example, the STG, the Horn STG squad, people are missing out on those, but they're just assaulters. The thing with the paratrooper events is that, well, they're paratroopers. They're special, and there has been a little bit of a debate, well, not too big, on if this should be on the tech trees or not. I personally don't think it should, but maybe you think differently. So there's kind of been two sides, right? Obviously, there's two sides to this, maybe a bit more. But there's the first side where people want to restrict paratroopers because they're pretty overpowered if everyone uses them. So they want to restrict them to just the people who bought them or used the event. And there's another side where they think, well, this is a new class in Enlisted. This should be in the main game for everyone to use. And I see the points of both sides, right? There's stuff I do agree with, stuff I don't agree with. But I'm kind of leaning towards the everyone having paratroopers being a little bit overpowered side, right? So I have a solution to this debate, and that's to add specific maps to Enlisted that use paratroopers. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I mean specific historical mass paratrooper events in World War II, and use those as, well, use those so everyone can use paratroopers in Enlisted. Now, here's how I would do it, right? There would be no planes in the air to really combat these transport planes, and people can only really use I say really can use. I suggest people only use the transport planes. Everybody can use like any soldiers for their landings. For example, right, you can use the 100 versus is a bad example. The big red one, right? You can use that to jump from a plane. So any squad, all right, you can use any squad that does not use a vehicle, and it is only available for the first point. Or maybe even the second, so as to not like make things extremely overpowered. This kind of update can bring many maps and potential campaigns. For example, right, the Pacific, you got landing at Nadzab in Papua New Guinea, where American and Australian troops jumped into Papua New Guinea, or Nadzab, somewhere around, and used heavy smoke to cover their landing, right? Saint Mire-Église, is that how I'm saying it? So I don't know any French people that might be watching this. One of the first towns liberated on D-Day, right? Crete, that would be pretty cool. The very last major German paratrooper operations. Definitely not the last, as you can see with the Germans breaking out Mussolini. And the Soviets with their Vyazma operations, right? Which could be pretty cool, right? Except they'll kind of be a lower tier thing, because I'm pretty sure it was the Moscow operation. Whatever, right? And there's potential campaigns with this, right? So excluding stuff like Crete, you got Market Garden, right? The Netherlands, was it the British and the Americans against the Germans? And maybe, right, if they decide to implement the idea of a resistance thing, maybe the Dutch resistance. Who knows? I'm not anything to say. I'm not anyone. You got in the Pacific, you got Palembang, this. You got this, which put the Netherlands against the Japanese, which we could see a like integrated Benelux tree. That'd be pretty cool. But that's for a future video on how a suggestion, you know. And speaking of Benelux, you got The Hague and Fort Eben Amel. I am so sorry to anyone that speaks French. This is my official apology to anyone that speaks any language that I butcher up the language, because I am butchering up so bad. Now I'm genuinely feeling bad. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna make like an apology video one of these days. Anywho, so there's some other stuff. Obviously, with an update like this, there's gonna be new stuff, maybe 1, 2, 3, 15 new things that could be implemented into Enlisted, right? Let's start with a very small thing. A folding stock, right? Where you can trade accuracy for speed when it's folded, right? Which could be a pretty cool concept, right? So it makes weapons like the M2A1 carbine and the M1E8 Garand a little bit more unique, instead of just being another knockoff of another weapon, which it kind of is, but it'll be a knockoff with style. That'd be pretty cool, right? Damn. Yeah, that's kind of really about the only minor one I could think of, besides night maps, right? Nothing in specific, maybe except for Normandy, any other, well, just night maps in general, right? Another thing, and I guess the last thing I would really state in this video, are the unique ways that countries use paratroopers that free-to-play players can, well, free-to-play and premium players and people who play the event can all experience if they don't want to use their, their free paratroopers that they got from the event, right? For example, the Soviet Union, they wrote off the wings of their planes, which are pretty cool. I'm pretty sure in the Vyazma operation they didn't really use paratrooper. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay, scratch that, right? I'm pretty sure in the Vyazma operation they were running short of parachutes. That's what I meant to say, parachutes. And relied on the deep snow to break their landing. Anyway, we got Germany, right? They landed separate from their equipment, so people can like play around with their pistols when they land, and then maybe press F or E or whatever the interact button that you have keep binded to your computer is, right? And immediately get loadouts for every single one of your paratroopers, which is unfortunate if you have a lot of people camping the ground all the time. And I guess the final one I could find, right? 'Cause I couldn't find really much about the Japanese except that they're a raiding force. And I couldn't find much about the Americans except that they're kind of a generic paratrooper thing. But the British, we could see glider planes. Anyway, that's all I really have for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and agree. If you don't agree, I'd be more than willing to discuss it in the comments. And yeah, other than that, like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you choose not to, I'll try better next time. And until next time, see y'all on the flip side.